Good afternoon, or just about afternoon at this point. All right, so injury report update. Matt Milano, Corey Thompson will be limited today. And vet days will be Lorenzo and Ty Nasecki. Everybody else will practice. So with that, we'll open it up to your questions.
We assume that's a good sign for Singletary that he might get back out there this week?
Yeah, we'll see how he does today. And again, just take it one day at a time.
Just to clarify, I'm sorry, just to clarify, that's Devin, Cody, Trent are all practicing in full today?
Yes. Yep.
Hey, the Dolphins just said that, Flores just said that Fitz is gonna start Sunday. Does that change anything for you guys in terms of preparation?
I mean, listen, they're both good quarterbacks. Fitz playing here. I know he's well liked in this area for what he did, and you could see that. He's played with some of the guys that I've been around since coming here, and his presence speaks for itself. He's a positive, energetic guy, and so it'll be a good week of preparation for us, and a big challenge for us. So this is a team that's played well, in particular after the first game, and it's been close up until the very end, in particular last week. So when you look at the scores, you look how they're improving week to week. They're a team that doesn't beat themselves with penalties, and so we've got to have a good week of preparation.
You've seen enough of Fitz through the years to know kind of what he's about. What does his experience, his savvy, all of that mean when you're defending a guy like this?
Yeah, we've got to be disciplined. He's a veteran, experienced quarterback, and with that comes challenges, comes problems. He runs their offense extremely well and operates it with the no huddle, with tempo, does a good job of getting them in and out of the huddle. And I think the first game or two that he played there got away from him a little bit with some because of the score. So outside of that, he's a good player.
Last week I asked you about your philosophy of wanting this team to expect to win every time it takes the field. What is the fine balance, though, when it comes to not being overconfident, especially when you're looking at an opponent, when you just look at 0-5, a lot of people think that they could be a pushover.
Yeah, well, listen, we focus internally quite a bit because of that, number one. Number two is having a chance last week to watch some games I don't normally get a chance to watch. You're reminded, and we talked about this as a team, you're reminded of a couple things. The very first one is it's a week-to-week battle, and you can throw records out the window. Records really don't matter in this league. They don't matter, with all due respect to the football gods, right? I mean, this is the best of the best in the world, and you've got to be on your A game every week, whether it's major college football or, in this case, the NFL.
Sean, kind of on the heels of that question, do you feel like you've built, and maybe internally in that locker room now, is there a culture where you don't have to worry about this team letting down? Has it reached that?
Well, listen, we've got, I'm confident in our player-driven leadership. And we have a process in place that we focus on and take them 1 week at a time. That said, again, we respect every opponent. And so we have to continue, and I've stressed this since day one, continue to improve. If you stay where you are, you're going to get beat in this league, and you've got to continue to grow every week. Yeah, that's what we're focused on.
Coach, with that in mind, after getting a week to kind of take a look at yourselves a little bit, on the offensive side of the ball, I know you're always focused on areas where you want to improve, but where have you seen maybe areas of noticeable growth on offense?
Yeah, we've been able to move the ball, so that's been a positive. I think we're executing at a higher level than what we have in the past, with still a lot of room to improve with extending drives, remaining penalty free, executing at a high level with everybody on the same page. So that's a consistent and from an effort standpoint and focus and a point of emphasis for us. We've got to continue to do that. in order to put up points. And that's at the end of the day, moving the ball is one thing. We've got to score points and score touchdowns.
On that note, Coach, going into today, your team is #1 in the league, tied for it in red zone efficiency, scoring touchdowns. Last year, middle of the pack. What's been the biggest difference, you think, in how you guys improved on that?
Yeah, everyone on the same page, execution, putting a good plan together that we can execute at a high level. It's not necessarily always what, but how we do things. And so that goes to the red zone and also really everything we do.
Hey, Sean, I was talking to Ed Oliver the other day, and he was joking that he doesn't want to talk about sack till he gets one. But if you look through the first 5 games, have you been pleased with what he's done? He doesn't have the sacks, but do you feel like he's done what you kind of expected he would be doing by now?
Well, I don't know if it's as much what I expected or what we expected, but more so just bringing along a young player. Learning how to play in this league in one-on-one confrontations, learning how to play within our system. We've talked a lot before about that's in a very unselfish position. So sometimes you don't hear from defensive tackles when they're doing their job. But the minute a defensive tackle gets out of his gap, then we've got a problem, then you hear about it. So it's a real fine line there, Sal, with respect to what the job description is for a defensive tackle. And I've been pleased. Let me pull that back, not pleased, but I've been, I feel like we're moving in the right direction with our young players, including Ed in this case.
To follow up on that, he is a 287-pound D tackle in this league, often going against guys who have 30 to 40 pounds. Have you noticed when you watch film, is he able to handle the size difference that he does, which you didn't really see too much in college?
Yeah, I think that remains to be seen. He's young, and we have a small sample size at this point. That said, I love how hard he plays. And sometimes that's half the battle is how hard you play. Down in and down out, game in and game out.
Sean, you're a 16.5-point favorite. That's what Minnesota was last year when they faced you. Do you think you need to remind your players of that?
Well, it's a good point. Listen, it's like I said before. I don't think, if you're focused on that, then you're focused on the wrong things. We've got to focus on where we are, what we have to do to improve, and make sure we are ready to go come Sunday. And I've said before, as I stated at the outset of this press conference, this is a good football team. And when you turn the tape on and you watch them play, it's a credit to their coaches, a credit to their players, how they play.
Hey, we had this other incident one day with the officiating at the end of that game. Where do you stand, Sean, on, there's been a lot of talk about putting an eye in the sky, have an official up there to review these plays instantaneously. Where do you fall on that issue? I know there's a lot of things that have to be discussed, but where do you personally fall with that?
Yeah, I think overall, Sal, with respect to your question, let's talk about that in the off season. Week to week, I'm just going to refrain from commenting on just overall anything involving the officials. I'm focused on my team. I'm focused on our game this week, but again, I know where you're coming from on that. I just let's table that to the off season if we could.
Sean, what do the additions or integration of Devin Singletary and Duke Williams add to your offense?
Yeah, youth. Number one is the first thing that jumps out at me is youth. Within that, there's ability, there's toughness, there's football instincts. Each of those two, they play 2 different positions, so they bring a little bit different things to the table. Toughness. So it'll be good to have Duke on the field again, and we'll see if he can build on what he did last week or the week prior, and then having Devin, we'll see what he does today, as I mentioned with Sal earlier, and see if he can get through the week and how he looks.
That's what Duke did. How much does that encourage you and build confidence that he can play a reliable role, given what he did in a small sample size?
Yeah, I think we'll have to see, John. It's been one game, to your point, so we'll just have to see.
Sean, how have you seen Devin handle this setback so early in his career? He saw some success in limited action the first few weeks, and then having to be on the shelf and kind of take a step back. How have you seen him handle that?
Yeah, you learn from adversity. We all have scars. The older you get, the more scars you seem to, or at least I seem to accumulate, and so you learn from those scars, and you try and work through it and help it you take it and use it to make you better as you move forward.
Sean, first time we've talked to you since the Zay Jones trade. What's sort of the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Zay's a good player and a tremendous person, so we wish him the best. We know he's going to do good things out there in Oakland, and you know, sometimes a change of scenery is good, and so for us, it's us moving forward, and we felt like this is the right time for us.
How tough was it for you, one of the first guys you brought in here, that first offseason, how tough is it to kind of cut ties and, I don't know if give up is the right word, but you're kind of moving on from a guy that was one of the first pieces for you?
Yeah, I don't ever give up on someone. That's the wrong approach. Whether he's on our team or not, I always support every player that's ever walked in our doors and walked out in this case. So that said, it's always tough. Relationships are built. Hopefully, relationships continue. I'll always be, you know, in Zay's corner. Guys, good. All right, thanks.